Hello everyone, my name is Nurifda Agustia. I'm a communication science student at Bina Sarana Informatika and my study number is 44250130. And I will give my opinion about Prabowo's way of reconstructing his political image to gain power. President Prabowo Subianto is an example of a political figure who actually has the ability to adapt and transform strategically throughout his political career. Prabowo has shown extraordinary ability to reconstruct his image according to prevailing political conditions. This can be seen in how he managed to reconstruct his image that was often considered a gross human rights violator in the past into a gemoy figure one that is attached to a friendly image. Prabowo managed to strengthen his position in the national political scene to achieve political success. It shows shrewdness in adapting to changes in the political structure. Prabowo's shrewdness in adjusting to change in the political structure reflects a unique blend of personal ambition, strategic flexibility, and contemporary Indonesian political realities. In the 2014 and 2019 presidential elections, Prabowo emerged as a right-wing populist with the close ties to Islamist movement and conservative group. In the 2014 presidential election, Prabowo, who at that time was running with Hatta Rajasa, received great support from the ulama group, and it was often said by his supporters that choosing Prabowo Hatta was a jihad against religion. His rival, Joko Widodo Yusuf Kala, who later defeated him, was supported by a majority of progressive nationalists and moderate Islamists. In the 2019 presidential election, Prabowo showed more religiosity in his campaign. At that time, in the 2019 presidential election, were colored by identity politics that clashed Islamic radicalism with Islamic moderation. Prabowo, who at that time was running with Sandiaga Uno, was supported by groups called representative of radical Islam, such as the GNPF MUI, which oversees Islamic organizations such as FPI, FUI, and Laskar Jihad. Meanwhile, Jokowi, who defeated him again, is supported by moderate Islam such as Nahdlatul Ulama or NU, Muhammadiyah, and other moderate organizations. At that time, conservative Islamic groups inserted the political Islam agenda through the Prabowo Sandi camp. This representation is quite unique. This is because Prabowo has no track record of becoming a religious figure. The political party he leads, namely the Gerindra, is a nationalist political party. However, he managed to build a religious image with the aim of winning the votes of the Indonesian populations, most of whom are Muslims. However, ahead of the 2024 presidential elections, he presented himself as a more moderate and progressive figure. With the dimming of the issue of religious identity politics, Prabowo's challenge in these presidential elections is to erase his image as a past human rights violator. During the New Order government under Suharto, Prabowo was believed to have been involved in human rights violations that occurred in 1998. He is said to have masterminded the kidnapping and torture of 1998 pro-democracy activists. In the 2024 presidential election, several 1998 activists were drawn by Prabowo into his camp, even give important position in the government. Take for example, Mugianto Sapin, who is now the Deputy Minister of Human Rights or HAM. He used to start his career as an activist of the Indonesian Student Solidarity for Democracy or SMID, and was once kidnapped by the Mawar team of the Special Forces Command or Kopassus, an L-10E unit that was then led by Prabowo as Commander General. These are several other activists who now sit in important positions in Prabowo's cabinet. For example, Fahri Hamzah, who is now the Deputy Minister of Housing and Settlement Areas, and Agus Jabu Priyono, who is now the Deputy Minister of Social Affairs. Although Prabowo Subianto has issued an apology related to 1998 incident, including allegation of gross human rights violations that are often directed at him. The apology was conveyed in a political context, especially in the run-up to elections, especially when image and electability are crucial factors. This is a phenomenon that reflects the complexity of Indonesia's political dynamics as well as showing Prabowo's ability to reconcile past conflicts to gain power. Prabowo's rise as president with 58.59% of the total national valid votes and the support of a fat coalitions from 9 political parties, as well as the constructions of a Gemoy image during the campaign, made his dark history as a military officer who violated human rights seem to be even more forgotten. His past is even considered irrelevant to be brought back up. The public is forced to move on. Moreover, pro-democracy activists are now part of the government. In this aspect, Prabowo can be said to have succeeded in changing his image. This strategy paid off. Public memory of human rights abuses is slowly eroding, and Prabowo has managed to establish himself as a central figure amid the shadow of historical accusations. That's all I can say. I hope that Prabowo, the current president of Indonesia, is trustworthy and always give his best to his people. Thank you.